The 2025 Arnold Strongman Classic. We are here to tell you everything that you need to know and who you should be looking out for.
So this is supposed to be a prediction video, but we're going through the events. It's becoming increasingly difficult. And when we get to the events, we'll sort of explain why. It's just, it feels so hard to call.
It really does. This is going to be a great competition.
Yes.
I think first and foremost, I know a lot of fans are looking forward to this, ourselves included. Now, also, I have a few athletes in this, so that's one reason I don't want to do a prediction video.
We're going to try and call a winner for each, though, aren't
We
we?
will call a winner for each, but what we'll do is kind of go through scenarios that we can really see that I feel are very realistic for various different athletes, because there are a few stories in this contest which could play out and change the way things kind of go in the competition anyway. Obviously there's always things that can happen that can change that as well, but I feel this is a really interesting competition. First big major show of the year, and you've had that break now where athletes have time to recover from 2024 and then start to build up for 2025, and you do see a lot of big improvements in that time from newer athletes. You see guys recover, do better. Sometimes when we're into the swing of the competitions, you don't see much change from comp to comp, whereas that break allows us this progression. We've got 10 incredible men competing in this lineup. Let's very quickly run through it. Mitchell Hooper, the defending champion, 3-time champion. Hafthor Julius Bjornsson. New guy to the Arnolds, Austin Andrade. Bobby Thompson, former podium finisher, is back. Evan Singleton coming back again. Lucas Hatton, he is someone I know a lot of people are looking forward to. Maxime Boudreau back at the Arnolds. Nick Guardione making his first appearance. Tom Stoltman, he was on the podium last year, and Trey Mitchell missed out on this show last year. He got better and better as last year went on. Can't wait to see him. Now, 10 amazing athletes, and I think it's very easy for all of us, myself included, to, Mitchell Hooper will win. That's the easy prediction. But there is no guarantee. Now, Mitch is coming in great shape.
He would be like a bookie's favourite based on past performance.
Absolutely, and rightly so. Based off what he did last year, he was amazing. And the thing with Mitch is you get that reliability.
Yeah.
So Mitch Hooper, when you're coming up to watch Mitch Hooper in a competition, if you're a fan, he's going to give 100%. You know that he is going to be there or thereabouts. I can't see a scenario where Mitch doesn't finish on the podium.
No, that's hard to see.
He's too consistent, he's too good, and he's too hungry. Like He's vocally always says if he's turning up to a show, he's going to give 100%, and you do see that with Mitch. Now, obviously, I coach Mitch. Yes, I think he's the favourite. Yes, I believe Mitch can win this competition. However, there are some incredible athletes that are capable of beating him, and it's important to respect that fact. It's never a guarantee. As an athlete, nothing is ever guaranteed. Firstly, you've got to perform. Secondly, you're relying on what your opponents do. Obviously, we're also going to try and avoid injuries and stuff like that. That's worst case scenario. We don't want to see that with any of these guys. But I feel there are one or two athletes, maybe 3 athletes, that when they raise their level, they can beat Mitch Hooper.
I feel like if everyone comes in their absolute best shape and does the best of their ability on every single event and we don't have any injuries, you could have the performance of your life and come 8th to 10th in this lineup.
In this competition.
Yeah, because it's so stacked top to bottom. It's gonna be brutal.
Well, the competition kicks off with the max deadlift, and when it comes to the deadlift, Mitch Hooper is not the favourite. Hafthor Julius Bjornsson, I like to full name him, is the favourite when it comes to the deadlift, and the deadlift has this extra prize money in it for a lift of 501 or more.
Yeah. So massive incentive. Thor has already openly said on this channel he's going to go for that. Trey Mitchell also said he's going to go for that. Now, it's very interesting. I mean, when I was trying to do predictions just for the deadlift, I had Thor in first place. Then I had, in absolutely no order, Mitch, Trey, Bobby and Austin. And this is where it started to become really difficult to how to separate them points-wise.
Well, they are all fabulous deadlifters. They're all capable of lifting massive weights. I do feel sometimes when people chase records, it can mess up your whole competition.
It could, yeah.
If Trey and Thor are focused on that, maybe it goes swimmingly and, everything goes to plan. But you do see, firstly, the effort of going for such a heavy lift. There's danger in that. It can take a lot out of you, even if it doesn't injure you. It can potentially injure you. If you miss a lift, it can cost you. And that's where someone like Mitch will be real sneaky. He'll be looking to see if any of these guys try and push too hard. He'll also be trying to force people to push too hard.
He's a good tactician.
Very, very good. Bobby and Trey are huge deadlifters. Austin Andrade, also huge deadlifter. They're all capable of being well over 1,000 pounds.
Yeah. I think it's important for Tom Stoltman to have a solid start here. Like, there's definitely guys he can beat on the deadlift here. So he should be looking to pick up minimum of 4 or 5 points, he'd hope, wouldn't he?
Yeah, it's interesting because on every event you have like best case and worst case as an athlete. You're always going to come in. And Tom's best case, I think, would be 4th or 5th.
Yeah.
Worst case could be, 8th.
Yeah.
So he's got to try and be towards that 5th or 4th place. If he is, he's going to be looking, good for the rest of the competition.
Yeah.
For Hafthor, really, it's win or nothing. This event is a I must win event.
Yeah.
And then guys like Austin, Bobby, Mitch, they're looking for top 3.
Yeah.
They want to be on Trey as well.
Yeah.
So one of them won't be in the top 3.
No.
And that's where the interesting things kind of start to come.
Lucas also, he's another favourite for the podium. He needs a solid start here. Evan too. Yeah. And these two, I think, very similar in capabilities when it comes to deadlift. Evan has better numbers in competition, so he's proven in competition, but they are quite close. And I think they're probably middling.
And both had the same issue at Strongest Man on Earth, didn't
the thumb.
Yes.
Yeah, the excited thumb that's coming off the bar.
So
they're not going to have that issue here.
Yeah, it really does make things interesting. I mean, I would say Maxime and Nick are probably looking at 9th and 10th.
Probably.
All things being what you'd expect.
Yeah.
But even that 1 point can make a difference.
1 point's important on your weakest event. To get an extra point is important.
So there's lots of stories on the deadlift, and they will be on every single event. But I agree with Liz. I think Hafthor is the big favourite on this one. I think guys like Mitch Hooper, Trey, Austin and Bobby, that's the battle. So event number 2 is the overhead medley. We've seen various different overheads at the Arnolds before. Yeah. This is a new one. We've got 3 objects, have to be put overhead. Finishing with the log. There's 2 logs, 1 rep with the heavy log beats any amount of reps with the lighter log. We've seen the trump log used at Arnold's before, but never in this format where they've got the objects before just to try the log.
Yeah, so they've got a really generous time limit for this, 2.5 minutes. So, the athletes can pace themselves, but it is split time on every single rep on each implement. So, they go 1 rep on the dumbbell, 1 rep on the stone. What is it?
Let's say stone.
Yeah, and then it's the trump log, yeah. Now for this is where my predictions, I was only on event 2, they fell apart completely.
This is a tough one.
Because I had Trey, Mitch, Tom and Lucas could win this event, I think.
Trey, Mitch, Tom and Lucas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think any one of those could win this event.
Lucas has looked very consistent on any type of overhead.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mitch Hooper is very good at all different types of overheads, but I think those 2 would be my favourites. But Trey has won this log before.
He has, and the split time means there are no ties on this as well.
And that's where maybe Trey has that advantage. He's got the experience on that log. He knows he's not going to have to rush himself on the first 2 objects. I can see someone like Lucas blitzing through the first 2 objects.
Yeah.
Then it's how much stamina does he have on that log. He's looked good in training.
He's looked great. He's looked good in training. He's looked good in competition. Yeah. So there's nothing to suggest he wouldn't do amazingly at it.
Yeah. I mean, Tom Stoltman's pressing is very good.
It's great.
He's really improved his pressing over the years. Evans looked good in training.
Yeah.
I mean, someone like Maxime, you'd normally say is a good presser. In this lineup, you think, no.
Do you know what? Every single athlete in this lineup is a great presser.
Agreed.
There's not a single weak presser. I know people talk about Thor's pressing being weak, but it's relative to how it used to be.
And that's Thor's biggest problem in this competition. He's up against a stacked lineup of pressers.
Yeah,
Bobby
everyone.
Thompson, Austin Andrade, Mitch Hooper, Axel world record holder. Evan Singleton's thrown massive weights. Tom Stoltman on logs recently over the last few years has been incredible. Trey Mitchell has won this event before. Lucas Hatton doing ridiculous numbers in the gym and in competition. That's the problem for Thor.
Yeah,
winning this competition.
It's who he's up against. Yeah.
I can't pick this one.
No, I can't. That's where I stopped trying.
Yeah, I mean, I think someone like Lucas is a guaranteed top 3.
Yeah, I think so.
I would also say Trey Mitchell, and I think Mitch Hooper. I think those 2.
I don't know, man. I've got Tom in there.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think You could be second or you could be seventh on this event.
Going later on this, so having had a great result in the deadlift is going to be such a huge advantage, knowing what you need to do and how to pace
Very
it.
true. And that's where someone like Mitch and Trey
are going to have an
that
advantage. Yeah,
even Thor, if people make mistakes, he's going to be able to watch and think, okay, I don't need to rush myself.
Yeah, he's going to know exactly what he needs to do if the deadlift goes as we expect. But like, say Lucas and Tom do come mid-pack on the deadlift with all those great guys behind them still to come, they're going to have to go balls to the wall.
Absolutely.
For want of a better phrase.
Honestly, it's going to be very exciting. I'm looking forward to this event.
Now, the timber carry, I feel, is a little bit more predictable for the guys that we've seen do it, but we do have a few new guys here who've been doing very well in training. Austin and Nick, both looking good on it. Interesting one for Lucas, I feel. Don't feel I know where Lucas might lie with this one.
I think, I agree with you on this. And if you've never used that frame, it can be, a shock to the system compared to frames that you use. It's a tough frame.
Yeah.
We haven't actually seen many finishers on the frame at the Arnolds.
No.
It's only a handful of people, really. Thor managed to come second on this event last year. Mitch Hooper won it. Thor actually beat Mateusz.
Yeah, and it was his best time ever, and Thor is the most experienced on this kit, so he's only getting better, it would seem.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's been plenty of times where Thor couldn't finish it. So the fact that he finished last year was great. Lots of these guys that have been before haven't finished this. I believe the only ones that have are Thor, Mitch, and Maxime.
Yeah, they are the only ones. So Tom needs to something solid, even if it's not a finish. He needs to be one of the best not to finish.
Yes.
I'm not the same for all of them,
for the last few times that Trey's competed in this has been the event that's cost him major points. He's come last, I believe.
Well, if you don't move it, you get 0 points he's got on this event before. Evan will desperately want to finish this. He's capable as well.
Very capable.
Yeah.
Evan is a hard person to predict as well.
He's so hard.
You talk about like Evan, he's someone with so much potential. And if he gets it right, you feel like he could win a major competition.
We've seen amazing things from Evan. We've seen Evan have complete disasters as well.
Evan is one of those guys I could see on the podium, I could see last.
Yeah, he could be anywhere.
He could be anywhere, He's one of those guys that has what it takes, but maybe doesn't have the finesse and consistency of some of the other athletes.
He doesn't have the consistency for us to predict.
Yes, very much so, but he is always a threat.
Yeah.
But again, I think this event does suit guys with experience. I think Maxime and Mitch have proven themselves on this. Thor also. I wouldn't be surprised to see Austin Andrade do really well on this as well.
He came second at the yoke frame carry medley at Worlds. Yeah, no, I expect Austin to finish. I think we could be surprised. We may see the most guys finish it this year. I would love to see that. That would be really cool.
You never know. The thing is that you're talking third event on day one after doing a deadlift for max.
Yeah.
That's a key factor because the lower back, the legs, the glutes are fatigued going into it.
Yeah.
And then the big thing with it is grip strength. If your grip goes, that's when you have problems. Trying to relift on the ramp is a big problem. Anyone that can do it in one go, it's a massive advantage. I know that's obvious, but if you can get it done in under 10 seconds, your grip can hang out for that kind of time. I was going to
say, you only need it to last 10 seconds, but I know it's like ridiculously difficult, but it is a drag race once you're going, if you can finish.
It is indeed.
We'll see.
Another hard event to predict, but we are starting day 2 with a new event, the Big Jerk.
Oh, now this is exciting. So they changed the rules on this. It was going to be like rounds where people could do as many lifts as they wanted jumping in, but the time constraints and the amount of athletes, because we have the women as well, they just couldn't do it that way. So athletes are now limited to 4 lifts. So strategy is going to come
into play. Lucas Hatton comes back into play on this one, looking incredible, looking the best out of everyone in training videos.
Agreed.
Has the best technique and the most efficient lifts that we've seen by far. We've seen massive numbers from many of these athletes. I think a number of them could go over 500 pounds.
Yeah, agreed, definitely.
Which is, again, insane, and again is half Thor's issue.
Yes.
He is against a group of tremendous pressers.
Yeah, he is.
Every single one of these athletes. Tom Stoltman at World's Strongest Man went 240 kilos.
He just posted 230 for 2 as
in
well.
Training.
Nice comfortable double.
Evan Singleton recently in training.
Yeah, 250.
With brute power, 250 kilos. Mitch Hooper is up at that kind of range. I know you've been following Austin and Nick. They've been looking really good.
Yeah.
Maxime He's pretty solid on this. Trey Mitchell, I haven't seen too many behind the back presses from Trey. Is he doing this behind the back, or is he going to
he's going behind the... Well, when I spoke to him, he was going behind the back,
The best I think I've seen from Hathor is 210.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Maybe it's bottom of the pack or down in that kind of area.
Close to, maybe.
But he is a game day athlete.
He is. He's a peaker.
Which is what you need to do. And we'll say this, we've seen some huge numbers in the gym. Doesn't always necessarily mean they're going to do more in competition. Often people leave their best lifts in the gym, don't bring what they need to competition. So it's all about what they can do on the day. But for me, I'd be looking out for Lucas Hatton on this one. Yeah. He is the favourite, I think, going into this event with a number of guys that could be very, very close. Yeah. Strategy, numbers are going to be important.
They're going to be so important. And guys are going to miss points because of bad choices, I think.
Event number 2, on day number 2, is the trial by timber. Yeah. Essentially a carry and drag. And I expect it to be a heavy drag. I keep saying that, but it's the Arnold's.
It will be heavy.
It has to be heavy.
Yeah, they don't move fast at the Arnold's.
And heavy drags will suit Thor Bjornsson and Tom Stoltman.
Yeah.
Both massive individuals, both huge body weight, they have height.
Surely it will suit Austin also.
It will, but he's not as tall as those guys.
No, it's true.
And I can tell you from experience training with Hathor, I've never seen someone drag things as well as he can. I could have trained dragging every single day for the rest of my life and not been as good as he was.
Yeah.
Just when it comes to a heavy drag, it's just a natural event for him. Tom Stoltman has that same type of ability. Yeah. If it's not super heavy, then it can open it up a bit more.
Wide open, because you've got some super athletic guys here. Evan is very athletic. Nick is too.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitch, obviously, as well as being super strong at pulls and drags and stuff like that, it really would blow it wide open, I think.
It does. I'm expecting it to be super heavy. And for that reason, I think Thor and Tom really shine on this one.
Yeah. Trey's big.
He is. But the reason I think... Austin's big, Trey's big... But Thor and Tom also have height, which will make carrying the implements easier as well.
He's tall.
He's not that tall.
No, he's pretty tall.
he's tall compared to you. He's not that tall compared to Tom and Thor.
Everyone's tall compared to me. Okay.
So no, I agree. He is big, but
I know what you mean. It's like having those, like horse legs, I say. When they run like horses. They gallop, don't they? Just because they cover so much ground. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
And then we will be going in to the final event, 6 events at the Arnold's this year, which is rare. It's normally 5. We've seen as low as 4 before.
Yeah,
normally it's 5. We've got 6 this year. The last event will suit Trey Mitchell, I believe.
Yes.
The stone to shoulder. Yeah. So this is going to be an interesting one to finish with. When Kilishkovsky was in the competition, I think he would have been the favourite. He obviously pulled out a couple of months ago now, a month ago. I think someone like Trey could be the favourite on this. He's very good at lifting stones without tacky.
Yeah, he does it all the time. Yeah, apparently you're only allowed to start applying tacky once you get to like 200 kilos or something like that. What are the weights? Because this is a trump stone.
I think it's 180 kilos, 400 pounds for the heavy stone. There's a lighter stone as well.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper has looked very good at this in training. Trey Mitchell I expect to be very good. Now, it's very easy to think Atlas Stone, Thor and Tom should be really good, but it doesn't always transfer to lifting to shoulder. Both of those guys are so good at lifting an Atlas Stone to waist height, really.
Well, yeah,
maybe the chest if it's a super high platform. But because they're so tall, they don't really have to go to the shoulder that often. Going to the shoulder is a little bit different. And I know that Trey and Mitch are very accomplished in this type of movement. Although he's not competing, Martin Zlissis was always good at this type of movement. Have Thor and Tom as good as they are at Atlas Stones, that doesn't always help on a stone to shoulder. I still expect them to be decent.
I think they'll be good at it still.
But I think, if it was Atlas Stones, they would be your favourites. I don't necessarily think they're the favourites with a stone to shoulder.
No, I agree. Austin and Nick both looking good on this event as well. I think this could be anyone's, and it's going to come down to a couple of factors, like what is left? What is at stake? Like,
that is key.
How far away are you points-wise from the next guy in front? Like, how much do you have to do to just get one extra place in the competition?
Yeah, like, are you battling for the podium? Are you battling for the victory?
Yeah.
Are you completely out of the competition at this point? If that's the case, often people are like,
fuck this.
I'm done. I ain't getting any more prize money. I've got no energy left. I'm not even going to try. Whereas if you're in the competition and you are still battling for jostling points and big improvements in the overall.
Pride is on the line
Pride.
as well. Yeah.
Hey, all these guys
are,
just to get to this level is superb. These are incredible athletes, but it will come down to who wants it the most. And that stone, how many times it goes up. I'd love to see the competition close at this point.
It would be fun, like from a fan's perspective. Maybe not as a coach. It'd be horrible, like out back as well, if it was really close at this point. The tension, guys, you don't understand. They should sell that as a fan experience going into the last event when it's super tight at the top. Like
it's the worst.
It's the worst. Yeah, it is. It's horrible, especially when you're out there like trying to just support people.
So I know you've got a lot of friends competing. I've got athletes competing. Do you have a prediction?
No. No. Did we say we'd just predict a winner? Because if we're just predicting a winner, I would go with Mitch purely because, reasons we explained, he's a pretty safe bet. He doesn't have much of a weakness. I see weaknesses for the other guys who I think could be in contention for the win, such as Thor, Tom and Lucas and Trey with that timber carry. Yeah. Now, I do think Trey, he could, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see him, I don't know though, because if he zeroes the timber carry.
Well, the timber carry, it's going to come down to that timber carry. We're going to be watching Trey very closely. Yeah. And we're expecting him to do badly. But if Trey has been working at it and suddenly Trey comes mid-table on it,
he could win. He could win the whole competition. He's going to come into the competition, and this is where it all gets fun. And this is why whatever we say, whatever you guys think beforehand, is irrelevant until the competition starts. Every single one of these guys, awesome. I do think Mitch Hooper wins. He is an extremely consistent athlete. He turns up to win, and he's very reliable. 23 podiums in a row. Yeah. He's won 7 out of 8 competitions last year, I think it was. Yeah.
He's very... he doesn't need to win events. He just always keeps scoring points. Yeah. Thor could come and win the most events. We saw it at the Strongest Man on Earth last year.
Rogue Invitational, every competition.
I'm going to expect his pressing to have improved a bit since then still. Yeah. But I just think this is such a strong lineup of pressers that it does cost Thor the win. And then does Thor just focus on the deadlift? Or is he focused on the whole competition? So there's a few stories in there. Yeah. Tom Stoltman has been super quiet. Posted out a video very recently. Looks very, very good. Yeah. Very good events for Tom Stoltman as well.
I expect him to be on the podium, Tom. I do. But I don't know who I bump off the podium because I also expect Lucas, Thor and Trey to be on the podium.
You expect at least 5 athletes to be on the podium.
I've got a very big podium.
We're putting all these guys on the podium.
There's chuckle 10 on.
And it's fun. This is the fun part of the sport for me. The build up to the contest is always awesome. So many great athletes. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Obviously, it's fun to have your favourites, but let me know who you think will win and the reasons why.
Yeah.
It's,
you have to have some rationale, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, people kind of say, you're just picking Mitch Hooper. Well, there's reasons for that. He's, until he gives us a reason not to kind of put him on the podium, you're going to keep picking Mitch Hooper as a podium finisher. Yeah. But as we've said, there is a number of athletes in this that can push him, and if they come in shape and they're fired up, although I don't train Trey, I kind of want to see him in shape. Because I love Trey anyway. Trey in shape.
I would be so happy to see Trey win this. But sorry, Mitch, but I would, yeah. It's not about picking who I want to win, it's who I think will win.
Yeah. If it was who I want to win, I'd want Bobby Thompson to win. So I coach Bobby, and he never gets any recognition, but he's a good, strong athlete. Yeah. But it's not about that. It's about who performs, and it's going to be a battle. It really is. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.